Coach, how do you get this team back focused on Stanford after such an emotional win?
Well, we don't have a choice. This is, arguably the best team in the country coming in here. And if you look at what they've done in all three phases of the game, I can't imagine there's a more complete team in the country. They're hitting on all cylinders. Very rarely do you find a team that's one of the best running teams in America. Usually that means your quarterback's not very good, and they happen to have the number one pick in the draft, at quarterback. So we're going to have our hands full, and so our players are going to need to be focused and have a great week of preparation.
Do you feel like your team is starting to develop an identity as a team that can overcome adversity and a tough team, particularly after that last win?
I hope so. I hope that we grew up, going on the road twice, back-to-back weeks, in a new stadium. We hadn't been in there, at Cal versus a really good defensive team. Then we played another really good defensive team in Notre Dame, and a team that had been very explosive on offense going into a very hostile environment. So I was very proud of the way that our players played because it was such a clean game. 2 assessed penalties, no turnovers. They played really well, and we're going to have to build on that and even do better this week.
It almost seems like Curtis McNeil is the embodiment of that too, of toughness, overcoming adversity. You brought him up a lot after games. Has he sort of become the model of what you're looking for out of this team?
Well, I think so. Curtis has been through so many things in his life, not just in football. And so to see that adversity on top of, being 5'7", maybe, and the way that he's playing in big games right now is great to see, and it's great for all our young kids to see.
Another guy who defies his size is Nikhil Roby. Wasn't that much made out of his performance after the game, but can you talk from a coaching perspective how impressive he was against Michael Floyd?
Yeah, I thought he had a huge day. Whatever it was, 4 catches, 27 yards versus one of the best players in America was a huge day for him, and he was matched up on him almost all day long. We didn't give him a lot of help in coverage. We left him out there by himself. So, and then to really almost seal the game at that point, with interception, with 7 minutes left was huge.
Going into every game that all eyes are on Robert Woods for the other team's defense. Do you take pride as a play caller and the two of you working together and still finding ways to get him open and get him a dozen catches?
Well, the only reason we can do what we do with Robert is because of Robert. His ability to want to learn other positions and line up in the backfield and do all the stuff that he does. That's not about us. That's about him. And, his focus on being great allows us to be able to do that.
It was just a few weeks ago coming out of the Arizona State game talking about a young team that committed all the typical errors on the road, turnovers, penalties. Talk about the growth from then until now, and you talk about what a clean game with no sacks, 2 penalties, and no turnovers.
Yeah, really completely different. And now for 2 weeks in a row we've played pretty clean in general, and so it was great to see. Especially because in our first road game we made all the mistakes you make.
Andrew Luck obviously comes back this season. What was your thought when you heard that he was coming back? I assume like most people you thought he was leaving. What was your reaction this summer?
Is there still a supplemental draft this week?
Can you evaluate him from an NFL perspective on what kind of prospect he is?
Perfect. Probably the most efficient quarterback maybe to ever have played college football. If you look at what he's done in his numbers and taking care of the ball, 2 sacks I think for 5 yards on the entire season, and what he does in the red zone on third down. They're 100% in the red zone. That's almost impossible to do, and it starts with him.
But from that Washington tape, it looked like that sort of old school, the Toby Gerhart Stanford team, where they just maul people. They ran for over 400 yards. Is it their offensive line? Is it their identity, their play calling? Why are they such a powerful team?
I think it's a combination of all those. I think it starts up front. Very physical, great pad leverage up front. They really challenge you, come downhill at you, and they play really hard. And then the play calling, they do a great job. I think people thought maybe with Jim leaving that would suffer and their offensive line coach leaving, and it didn't at all. They're still playing very tough, very physical, and give you a lot of problems.
Defensively, they're 7th in the nation in sacks. Is it a team that comes with a lot of exotic pressures and blitzes, or are they just that good up front?
Yeah, they come from all over the place. I think as you look at football, it's about protecting the quarterback, and I don't know if I've ever seen such a balance like what they have. I think they have 27 sacks and have given up 2. That's amazing. And, they cause you so many issues because they do so many things on defense.
What's the difference that you see from a David Shaw team to a Jim Harbaugh team year to year?
None. And I think that's what's surprising. Everybody thought that they were going to lose the Jim effect, and they've not shown that at all.
Game days coming to the Coliseum this weekend. It's been a while since you had a home game. Is this really an opportunity to get that place rocking? You always talk about sort of, returning into those days, and it seems like this is a showcase game.
I hope so. One of the best teams in the country coming in. Potentially the Heisman Trophy winner coming in here, and with game day here and all the stuff around the game, I hope that the place is rocking and that we fill it up.
Arrows pointing up for this team. Do you feel like there's a sense of belief, a sense of confidence that they can get this done this week?
No doubt. They're very confident right now, and that's really come with what the defense has done the last 2 weeks. Has really put a lot of confidence in the whole team.
All right, good luck this week. Thanks.
Thank you.